Good afternoon. The application we're presenting is called Parallel, a corresponding and aggregate market. Everyone loves revenue, but there are new rivers of revenue within the valuation space that we have yet tapped. Our team has created Parallels, a solution to efficiently create a space and market for corresponding lending within the F&C ecosystem. With this solution, we will ease the headache experienced by both the correspondent and aggregate institutions. If you don't know what corresponding lending is, it is when a smaller lender sells a loan they originated to a larger lender, allowing them to clear the loan from their books. They can then lend the money again. Everyone wins. Well, it isn't quite that simple though. In the corresponding and aggregate relationship, there is intense scrutiny over loans that are purchased and how they are reviewed. Important factors include the credit risk assessment, appraisal analysis, compliance, review of the closing package and collateral, and the use of fraud and quality tools. In summary, if the aggregator cannot either resell the loan or put it in their portfolio, then they made a bad decision. The aggregator institutions face the challenges of screening the appraisals without allowing the correspondent to log into their systems and create orders. The aggregators often run AVMs on the properties or even order new appraisals. They also spend a lot of time trying to track down the state of the loan with respect to the GSE. What if the process could be automated? What if a good corresponding lenders were rewarded for submitting data-rich loans to a structured marketplace? The correspondent lender's objective is to retain as many basis points as possible. The more BIPs, the more money they make. Since each aggregator offers points differently, there's never been a strong solution for getting data into the aggregator's hands and allowing them to automate some of the evaluation process. This project was developed to take core data points sourced from our CoreLogic solutions, industry strategists, client relations, and account managers, and provide a structured way for a correspondent to submit the core data and for an aggregate to automate parts of their decisioning. To provide the biggest lift for our clients, we can create meaningful calculations based on industry standards. The aggregators can include all or some of the currently defined data points, a max, min, or equal value, true or false, and weigh the values for the basis points in the DTO. Parallel interface along with the client callback URL bridges the gap between the correspondent and the aggregator. Acting as the correspondent, I will be asked to upload an ENV, first-gen PDF, or MISMO to Parallel. Other documents like the SSR may also be included. We will extract the data, or the user can input values that are currently not in the provided files that are important to decision making. Once filled out, the user will click Submit. Parallel will save the files to File Vault, and the data is stored to a small table. Parallel integrates with GAR and returns the GAR XML and the score. It will again store the extracted data and score to this same table, along with the entire GAR XML. While this is happening, Parallel will consume the aggregator's DTO. With the aggregator's variables along with the weight, Parallel will present back to the correspondent the purchase offer from any aggregator that had a hit on their configured risk and value tier. In the UI, it will order all the aggregator's correspondence work sorted based on the highest percent of potentially earned revenue. The higher the purchase offer, the more profitable it is to the correspondent. The user can then review the values, contact their client, and determine which aggregator they choose to expose their full documents to for further vetting and deal completion. In the future, following this step, if the aggregator purchases the files, it is transferred from Parallel to the CMS. Risk management efforts are essential to protect the interest of correspondents and aggregates, to help ensure quality submissions, and to mitigate concerns over fraud, misrepresentation, and credit quality. CoreLogic's Parallel can deliver an efficient marketplace that connects corresponding lenders with aggregates. Regarding the Forge, the only thing we did beforehand was requirements gathering. Everything in the demo regarding the correspondent point of view using Parallel was completed during the Forge. We did not hook up Parallel for the aggregator, though the calculations and UI are similar. We were going to do a dashboard, but due to team member illness, we were not able to complete this. In the future, Parallel could tap into CoreLogic's automated IQ borrower and CoreLogic's property APIs and Fannie Mae's collateral inspection database connection for more insight on the borrower's reliability, property data, and GSE standing. We also need to determine a pricing model and the linking between a correspondent and aggregator. Parallel would need the support of the CMS for receiving the DTO. CMS's use of Parallel is important as it can centralize the review process and ultimately automate the conversion of the loan and all the associated risk and valuation data from the correspondent to the aggregator. In conclusion, by revolutionizing the way corresponding lending functions today, Parallel will add transparency, seamlessly connecting the originators to buyers, and offer the best pricing for both sides of the transaction.